Well, I'm sure most of you by now have heard the big rumor that Microsoft is actually having talks to purchase WB Games Holdings, which actually there's a lot of information coming out about that, but I'm going to cover a little bit of that, but I'm going to cover some more of this as well. Like I did a video about Sony putting in a pitch for some studios that had even worked on Xbox games recently, including Splash Damage, but now it looks like they're looking to buy even more and purchase an entire portfolio as well. And I think this would be something that would definitely help them in the future, but a lot of people are going to be talking about this over the next few days as well. So it looks like I said, content wars are here to stay. Console war is probably a thing of the past, and both these companies want to get as many developers and IP under their belt as possible for the future. So this is going to be an exciting video, an enlightening video, and I'm very excited to do it. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that. It really helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. I want to shout out all the new subscribers. Thank you so much. All the old subscribers, thank you. All the people who just watch and don't subscribe, thank you as well. You guys are amazing. I really do appreciate it. The easiest thing and best thing you can do is just like my videos. I put in a lot of hard work for them, so anytime you can just like them, I would appreciate it. But if you really want to support me, you can become a member, or you can even go ahead and hit that bell so you're notified of everything as soon as it drops. That's super fun. I do daily content, so you don't want to miss anything, folks. Trust me, I'm hilarious. And I got some big stuff coming as well down the pipe, so it should be pretty interesting, to say the least. With that being said, I want to jump right into this. Like I said earlier, it looks like Microsoft is throwing their hat in the ring to possibly buy out WB Games, which is very interesting. Okay, so a lot of people are also, there's some misinformation out there about it. So far the interest is like $4 billion to buy these 6 studios or whatever, right? The problem is none of the IP by Warner Brothers is included in this. So it's $4 billion for studios, and you have no Batman, no DC license, no Harry Potter license, no Lord of the Rings license, none of that stuff. Looks like no Mortal Kombat either. So you would have these studios but not be able to make the games that these studios are known for. There certainly could be a way to get some access to it, the way that you can, the way that say some companies get a license. You got to rent the license. Like right now, Disney, it has a 10-year deal with EA for Star Wars. They're the only company that can make a Star Wars game. So you could do something like that, but to actually not own any of the IP or have any guarantees, that's not a great thing. So for me personally, I think it makes the less sense out of all of them for Microsoft to be in this, because Microsoft, let's be honest, if they did get the license agreements to continue making Batman games and Mortal Kombat games, they're not going to make them exclusive. They're just, so there's not really a point, because Microsoft needs studios that can make exclusives, So it makes much more sense for a Take-Two or Activision or an EA to get these, because that's what they do. They can basically continue on how they are. These studios continue making the same games they are, and and it's a multi-plat publisher. So I think that makes the most sense. It would be quite an interesting thing if Microsoft did get them, but again, like I said, unless they're doing like new IP and stuff, and then if they are doing new IP or Microsoft owned IP, then that's good. But I think the bad part would be the end of stuff like the Arkham series or the Shadow of War series, or Harry Potter games the way that we know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would lose that because the developers behind those games obviously wouldn't be developing them anymore. So and then again, there was also Sony is definitely rumored to be interested in picking up that Lei company, which owns like Splash Damage and Certain Affinity and stuff like that, and I did a video about that already. But this one is actually even more interesting, because it's much more up their alley, if you will. So I'm looking forward to covering this. And again, I'm going to link this article in the description so you guys can check it out and let me know what you think. If you're new to my channel, I always link every news article, news story I do with the link in the description below. If it's a opinion piece, then I don't need a link because it's opinion. If it's something that's a big leak or rumor, and I can link, and I will. If I can't, I'll let you guys know. And I just tell you guys, take it with a grain of salt, because until these companies actually come out and admit these things, then it's just one of those things that you have to take with a grain of salt. So, according to Bloomberg, Sony's currently considering a bid for Leiyu Technologies, which I already covered. This is a different thing because it looks like purchased SNK Playmore and later renamed them to SNK Corporation. The anonymous sources within Sony told Bloomberg that they are working on financial advisor on a potential offer for Leiyu Technologies. Sources are said to be anonymous as the matter is supposed to be private. SNK is known for its fighting game community, for fighting games like the King of Fighters and Samurai Showdown. Being that King of Fighters 15 is currently in development, there's a possibility that this could inevitably mean that King of Fighters 15 would become a PlayStation 5 exclusive. The Samurai Showdown series also recently returned back in 2019, and should the series continue, the future Samurai Showdown titles could also become PlayStation exclusive. It's also worth mentioning that Terry Bogard is currently a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. While this deal wouldn't directly affect Terry's inclusion in the game, it could greatly reduce his chances of returning in future installments. Aside from Sony, there are some other people. CVC Capital Partners appear to be in talks for an offer for Leiyu Technologies. Their controlling shareholder is said to be aiming to choose a buyer as early as this month, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. So basically, it's more than just a thing with the splash damage and stuff like this. SNK would be a completely different thing. So I do think that would be pretty fantastic. If you just think about it, they have a lot of ties to the PlayStation as well, and some of those games. I mean, I don't think this would be as big a blow, in my opinion, as, say, like the Splash Damage stuff, because Splash Damage co-developed Gears of War 5 and Gears of War Ultimate, and it looks like they pretty much fully developed Gears Tactics, which is that pretty high, well, I wouldn't say pretty high, but I think it's like an 80 rated Metacritic game on PC, and supposedly going to come to Xbox at some particular point. But like that's a big of a blow in my opinion, because they work directly with Xbox, and then that would be taking them away from Xbox. So but this would still be Sony kind of shoring up some of their content and some of the things that they've been able to offer over the years, and I feel like that would be a very important thing for them to be able to do. I can't remember the last King of Fighters that released on Xbox. I'm not really sure. Like I know of the game, and I remember playing some on PlayStation at particular points in my life, but I'm not exactly sure when the last one released, or how multi-plat they were, or anything like that. But I do know that they're quite popular on PlayStation, and particular in like Japan and the Asian markets. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that sort of works out, and what exactly these companies can kind of do, and how that can benefit them in the future. So I do think it's going to be a very interesting time, and it's going to be very, very much something that Sony's going to have as possibly being a bit of an edge over Xbox, because look, Xbox is going to try to gobble up as much as they can in terms of games and IP and studios and stuff like that, because there are new players on the field. You've got Amazon, you got Google, even though I don't think those two will be in it very long, but you do have a situation where Sony's moving more towards, they're going to offer you the ability to play your games on the go and stuff like that. I'm not sure how successful that's going to be for either, but that is going to be what the obvious goal is for them. You know what I mean? Hey, play your games here, there, everywhere. That doesn't mean I think they're going to go to Xbox, or Xbox games to PlayStation necessarily, but it is something to kind of keep an eye on, because in those instances where you can play your games on the go and stream them and stuff, which I'm not a fan of, by the way, you need as much content as possible, because think of content suppliers that do streaming media now, right? Netflix, they have their own stuff that they have, the Stranger Things and all those shows they do. Hulu has their own things that they do. HBO has their own things that they do. You need that content to kind of draw people and make people subscribe, and I think that that's exactly what the thinking is. Hey, you have to go get these companies, get these IP, all that kind of stuff, really go out there and sort of see what can go on exclusively, because that's what's really going to change everything. That's why I said yesterday, hey, I'm cool if Microsoft gets WB Games, whether or not they get the licenses or not, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense if they're not going to make exclusive. So I would hope that they actually go out there and make exclusive games and things like that, because otherwise it makes absolutely zero sense whatsoever. But very interested to see how this kind of plays out for Microsoft, for Sony, for all the gamers involved and the studios involved and things like that. So I'm very interested to hear your guys' take down below, though. Hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Xbox Live, it doesn't matter. PSN, I'm always happy to talk games there. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. Rack 'em up, game on, and as always, Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.